Body. So I know everyone enjoyed the first video so much that I've done on Anderson Trucking Service, and now we will go into their way of divvying out loads to the independent contractors that they have. Mind you, some of these independent contractors are buying trucks from them from Anderson Trucking Service, which also owns a Freightliner dealership in St. Cloud, Minnesota. But the others are leasing trucks from a spin-off company that they have called Competitive Leasing. Okay. I can't speak for the others, but I can speak for myself in leasing two trucks from them. The first truck I leased, 2009 Peterbilt, it ran me $262 a week. Second truck, second time around, ran me $370 a week for a 2012 Peterbilt with an ISX Cummins in it that had 400,000 miles on it when I got it. Both were very decent trucks, considering what I'd came from, because I came from a company that leased dime a dozen Freightliners, and I was tickled pink when I could come to this company and get a real truck, as I called it, two stacks, two horns, straight square hood, 389 Peterbilt, versus a dime a dozen Columbia or ProStar or some such, that in my opinion is not fitting for, it's not fit for, flatbedding work. 389 Peterbilt, W900 Kenworth, those are flatbedding trucks. Okay. The thing is, when you sign off for one of these trucks and they tell you how much it's going to be a week, you heard what I paid for mine, 262 and 370. But then you take one of those trucks that you're getting brand new, spec to your Freightliner wildest dreams that you can spec out a Freightliner to be. Those trucks run $600 a week, okay? Out of your gross earnings. Now, $600 a week roughly comes to $30,000 a year that you're paying out of your gross earnings for just the truck. You haven't fueled it, you haven't fixed anything that's broken on it. We're talking about just a truck payment. It's the nature of the beast. But where some people would draw conflict or have a problem with that would be the way that they divvy out loads. Now, ATS Specialized, they have fleet managers, okay? And when you become empty somewhere, your fleet manager will take an empty call from you, and then they have another department of load planners that, I guess, when a truck becomes empty, they will send a Qualcomm message to said truck telling them or offering them what they have available. Okay? This is like 2016. Okay? I'm able to use any Android or smartphone and look on a load board and figure out what loads are near me, okay? Now, mind you, a lot of the stuff that you move from Anderson is going to be their in-house freight, something that they have set up. But when you have a $600 a week truck payment staring you in the face week after week after week, basically you're only as good as the load planners' loads are that they offer you. If you have any know-how about yourself, or you're computer literate or anything like that, I don't know that it's probably in your best interest to let a load planner find you a load, given all of the totality of the circumstance. The load planner works for ATS. You're an independent contractor. ATS employs company truck drivers that drive company operated trucks. So, who's to say that the load planner, you know, if there were so many company trucks empty in an area, so many independent contractors in an area, wouldn't they give the wider margin loads to their company trucks? It only makes sense. If I owned a company, that's what I would do. I wouldn't give it to the independent contractor. Even though I'm taking upwards of a third of their earnings just for offering them that service. Even though, you know, they really don't know what's being billed on those bill of ladings because they're not seeing that's what they tell you they pay. It still could be tempting for them to give the loads to their company trucks because it's just good business. Maybe I'm way off here, but I've had my doubts about them, and I've expressed my disdain for load planners and their way of divvying out loads. And recently it boiled over to where I would not sign a third contract because of the way they divvy out those loads. So they're not a bad company. I won't say that about I don't even know the Anderson family. I've never even met them. But I can say that as far as specialized or oversized trucking, I'm leaving them better than what I came. So they can't take that from me. They can take a bonus that they were supposed to pay out that they didn't. They could drain a maintenance account. They could take away the long-nosed trucks, but they can't take away what you learned. So it's a good place to go and learn how to haul all kinds of machinery because they've got it. If you want to haul blades or do heavy haul, I'm sure you could do that there too. But if you're willing to go and purchase a truck and pay $600 a week for it, I gotta say I don't recommend them. I would go somewhere like Landstar or somewhere where you could pick your own loads and do your own thing. That way you take out of the equation the fact that someone else is picking your loads for you, because $600 a week is pretty steep. And for me, not only was $600 a week steep, but also $600 a week for a truck that I don't even want, i.e. Freightliner Cascadia, i.e. Peterbilt 386, 387, or 579, are all trucks that I just don't feel are worth $500 or $600 a week. At the end of the day, I wouldn't want to drive one. I wouldn't want to own one, and I would not drive one for them under those circumstances. What are your opinions? Let's hear them. I'd love to hear from you. Till then, keep between the lines, guys.